and today we have got Wayne Bell, who is part of the Table for Six that's touring the country at the moment, which is a group of eclectic, stellar musicians, arrangers, producers, writers, players, session musicians. There's just like the stack of people who can do all sorts of things. Wayne's here with us today. Thanks for coming, Wayne.
Nice to see you.
Excellent, mate. Yeah, and
it's only been 25
years. Yeah, it's been a quarter of a century. True. Yeah, we identified that. It's been a long time, but we still both said we look really young and handsome, so we're good. We're good with that. We'll take it from there. So what I wanted to talk to you about, man, was we know you're a fine drummer, session musician, and you played with everybody in New Zealand. Is producer, because I just think it's a really important thing, to sort of get out there, because I'll get you to do the talking, of course, but as a producer of music, it's completely different than a producer of film.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, Matt, can you just spend some minutes just telling us what a musical producer is, how you work into it, how it all works? That would be fantastic, man.
Okay, yeah, it is a grey area. Because different producers will work in different ways. But the way I like to work is I'll have a songwriter or a band approach me. They want to make a record, so I need to work out a way of physically, financially making that record. That's one of the roles of producer.
So the producer actually gets into the financial side of it too, right?
Yeah, I think that's a part of the role. I mean, you don't want a band who's got New Zealand on air funding and they've got a little bit of money. They come into the studio. You don't want to have them in there for weeks on end, and all of a sudden they've got costs of $40,000.
Yeah.
So I think that's partly your responsibility.
Okay, so you identify their budget, you identify what they expect to be able to do, what their kind of wish list is, and what's actual reality, right?
Totally.
Because it's probably sometimes miles apart, on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all have big dreams, but not always big pockets.
We want a big string part in this.
Yeah. 100 String Orchestra, and somebody else is going to pay for that. So, as a producer, again, a music producer, you've got to look at. Once you've got into the song or the album, you've got to look at what's the colour of this thing going to be, and how is it going to look and feel.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's a hell of a lot in that. You've got a huge responsibility, really, as a producer. Right?
You do, because you want to keep your client happy for a start. I have a pretty simple rule with production. If you make a record with somebody, I want the artist to walk out of the studio happy, and I want me to walk out of the studio happy.
Right.
If I can achieve that, if we're both happy, then that's great. I don't care about anybody else. I'm not aiming for an audience. I don't really care about a record company or radio or TV or anything.
Tutor Lounge, anything like
that. If
you
came to me and wanted to make a record, I'd want you to go out of the studio feeling happy with it, and for me to feel happy.
Yeah, well said, man. Really well said. So again, digging into a producer, because I think that it's such a needed commodity, it's a needed entity. And 25 years ago, when we knew each other and we were playing, there wasn't such a thing as a producer in New Zealand. It was always the engineer with doubling up as the producer. There was one or two, Eddie Rayner and a few of those guys that have been around a long time, but there wasn't many. You couldn't really find a producer. Now we have a lot of fine producers here, which is the best thing for New Zealand music, because like it or not, it's very difficult to do a good album without a producer. Right? It's just that other set of ears.
It's that other set of ears. Yeah. It's just having somebody who may make you look at a part of the song differently, take it in another direction. There's all those types of things musically. I think one of the main roles is to get the best performance out of people. Because the studio can be a fairly unforgiving environment, especially on drummers. They get in there, they hear themselves playing, and it sounds awful. They're speeding up, they're slowing down, can't play with a click track. A lot of the job of a producer is to keep people's confidence levels high.
Yes.
If you're going to tell somebody that they're terrible, try and make a point of making them feel
Doing it
good
well.
about something else as well,
yeah.
you know.
Diplomacy, I think it's called.
Exactly, that's totally what it's called.
Yeah, if you're really good at being a producer, you can probably end up being the president of something sometime. Not the United States, it's not really that.
Yeah.
Mate, I get that. So, does it give you a huge amount of pleasure when you walk out of there and as the role of a producer, you felt like you've done your job?
Absolutely, yeah. It's the thing I enjoy doing the most these days.
Really?
I get to work with a lot of young and amazing musicians. I hear some fantastic songs. Sometimes it's the easiest job in the world when a bunch of people come into the studio, they're great players, and they're together, they've written these songs, they're well arranged, everyone can play, they know what they're after, and basically my role then becomes sitting around choosing the wine and
choosing the wine.
Yeah,
that's right. Now just a note on that. I think that it's the best paid job in the world if you get paid well, because it's the easiest job in the world. But it also would be the most difficult job in the world.
It can be.
It can be because you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders, man. There's a hell of a lot going on a producer.
Well, if you make a good record, possibly the producer won't be mentioned. If you make a bad record, you'll get mentioned.
Yeah, true enough. One very, very quick thing I wanted to say to you, mate. Would you engineer and produce at the same time, the same album?
No. Firstly,
years ago we might have. I tried it. But
totally. Yeah. No, firstly, I'm not an engineer, and secondly, as an engineer, I feel you need to focus on other things within music than a producer. I like to listen for performances, whereas an engineer is listening to sounds, you know. And I've got some great engineers that I work with all the time. Ollie Harmer at the lab and Neil Baldock around here. And those guys have just got great ears that I will never have.
Yeah, you know. Sure. Yeah, look, I understand that. I do understand that. Last word, I want to see if you agree with this, and I think that it's right. And this is the thing that I judge the value of a producer on any record is that even the best producers in the world get producers to produce their album, and that kind of tells you something, no?
Totally, I would.
I would.
I'd get somebody else to tell me when something was.
Yeah, but there's guys that produce for everybody else who are mega stars, but yet when they're doing their own stuff, they've got a producer there. Yeah. And you go, well, there's value in that, man. It's got to be.
It's just someone else's view. Yeah,
someone else's view. I know you guys are going to go to dinner now. I look forward to seeing you tonight, mate. Great drums, sounded really good, man.
Thank you very much.
Really nice feel there too. So Wayne's out doing his own thing on drums. You ever writing? You ever like getting out there? I know you're doing jingles and stuff. Did you?
Yeah.
An album out there for you?
No, nothing. I've a lot of co-writes with people, with Greg and with Jan Halregel and lots and lots of people. But I just seem to be busy.
Yeah, doing your stuff, mate.
Doing other stuff.
No, I got that, mate. Hey, look, it's really good to see you again, mate. I really look forward to hearing you guys play tonight, and the rest of the tour. It'll be fantastic, man. Thanks for spending the time.
Thanks for having me.
Out from the Tutor Lounge. Thanks,
cool.
man.